Hey guys, Joker here. Just wanted to have some ramblings. This is probably going to be a long video, but I just got a lot of things I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about is Bluebeard 2011. He's one of the Mandela affected people that I've been watching videos on, and apparently he went missing for 4 months. And recently, just about a day or 2 or 3 days ago, popped back up and said he'd been quantum shifting through different realities, and he said he shifted through like 4 different ones, and now he's back making videos about it. This was a guy that originally, when the Mandela thing kind of started, was saying that 3 of his kids was missing, and apparently they never existed in this reality. I just have a problem. If it, with the whole Mandela effect and everything going on, it's with the multiverse explanation and us shifting from other realities. It's completely possible that he did, shift from all these different realities. My problem with what he's been saying is talking about the demonetization that YouTube's been doing to people's videos, and he says he went back to his original world and the same thing happened, and what all the YouTubers demonetized all their videos, and that's how they pretty much stood up to YouTube and made them stop trying to demonetize their videos. Because if everybody demonetizes their videos and YouTube doesn't make no money off of them, yada 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 yada. You can look that up. You can head over to his channel to see more about that. However, my problem with that is all the Mandela Effect YouTubers that I watch, Mandela Affected, Moneybag73, Changing Matrix, Jacob Israel, Look If You Want, all of them, whenever I watch their videos, you can most of the videos they do, you can see their faces. And with this Mandela Effect thing, one of the things is we have a higher awareness now. That's what the awakening is. And having a higher awareness, I've read somewhere that you can point out basically when people are lying. Like, you kind of know instantly when someone is lying. And I don't want to discredit the things Bluebeard says about shifting between realities, because with what's been going on, it's very possible that happened. But to me, it discredits a lot of his stuff by constantly throwing in the demonetization of YouTube videos, because I don't see anyone else. I've not looked at a lot of other YouTubers other than the ones I mentioned. There's been a few here or there, but I've not seen anyone else mention this, and it just, to me, that kind of discredits some of his things, because it sounds like, and I could be completely wrong, and I apologize if I am, but it just seems to me that he's trying to use the Mandela Effect for some kind of monetary gain, which I am totally for. Like, if you are monetizing your Mandela Effect videos, do it. Fine. Make money, because, that's what we do. We make money as humans to, survive and get by, whatever. That's fine. But to focus on that when there's a lot bigger things, like, understand that he's not being able to see his kids because they don't exist in this reality. So if he shifted back to his world, he should be talking about that more, about, hey, I got to see my kids. I would, not, he doesn't have to detail all the things that they did with them, but I would think he would talk about that more than the monetization or the demonetization of the YouTube videos. It just seems, it discredits him. And I've seen Moneybag73 used to do financial videos about gold and silver and money and stuff all the time. And you would think, logically speaking, as history, if you look back on his videos, you would think he would be the one really talking about monetization and talk about money and how YouTube's doing this. But he's not. Moneybags doesn't care about any of that. He's making Mandela Effect videos like all the rest of us are, about getting our stories out there and making everybody think and feel that you're not alone, that there's a bunch of us going through this. It's fine. And nobody else that I know is nobody cares about this demonetization, because the Mandela Effect videos that we make, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. And this a little anecdote that's kind of a quote that I did not mean to do, from The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger's version of the Joker, which I completely hate because it's nothing like the Joker. Maybe that's another Mandela Effect, where like I mentioned in a previous video, where I thought I knew everything there was to know about the Joker, and then there was that whole Tim Curry thing. Go back my previous videos and see that if you want to learn more. But anyway, that that reference I just did was completely accidental. But yeah, it's about sending a message. It's about like letting people know, hey, you're not alone. You're not crazy. That there's a bunch of us that's experiencing this. So there's that. So I have a problem. If he did, it's very possible that he did shift through all these different realities, because with what's happening, it's very possible. Like before, it would have been like bullshit, but like with everything that's happening, it's very possible. But constantly throwing in the demonetization thing just kind of discredits what the purpose of these videos is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be to educate and organize and make other people feel better, and make them aware that they're not crazy, and there are lots of us that this is affected. So, but touching on that, the shifting realities thing, I did experience a flip-flop, and if you saw my last video, it was about the tidy cats. It was tidy cat in this reality, and it's flip-flopped back to tidy cats again. And speaking of flip-flops, I just noticed a huge flip-flop. I had to run out to the store. There's a convenience store that's like 24 hours right up from my house. I had to go up and get like a drink. And when I went outside, now I've noticed a lot of these videos of people talking about there's not as many stars in the sky as there used to be. There used to be more stars. And based on that, I've been looking up in the sky a lot more here lately. And there's not that many stars as there are in our reality. Well, tonight, when I went out to my car to go to the convenience store, I looked up and there's so many more stars. It's not as many as from my original reality, but there's so much more than there has been. So I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a huge flip-flop, that some of the stars are coming back. Maybe we are merging again with our previous reality. We're back on the other Earth. I don't know. But Bluebeard mentioned something in one of his videos that he came back to this world, and that's another whole thing. But like, he came back to this world, and he knew he was still back in this world because he was seeing all the things from this world and how he went back and forth. But like, I don't know, maybe reality and us are changing. Like, we change. I'll say this. Okay, there was another video. I'll have to find the YouTuber that did this, but someone talked about our memories catching up with the Mandela Effect catching up with our memories. Like, if in this reality, it's always been Ford with a little squiggly line, and all of us remember the Ford logo without it. Well, in this reality, when we were 6 years old seeing those commercials and stuff, now in this reality, when we're 6 years old, we have seen the logo with the little squiggly on. So maybe the Mandela Effect is catching up with our memories and like changing it. Maybe the reality's trying to correct itself or something and changing it to match what we should know in this one. Maybe that's just a theory. But yeah, there was a whole lot more stars tonight than there has been in a very long time. So I wonder if that's a major flip-flop, I would imagine. There's also something about just touching on the Bluebeard thing, when he said he was quantum shifting. He said that he came back here, but he doesn't even know if this is the same reality he left. But he talks about this journal that he wrote and certain things that are the same in this reality. And he wrote in his journal, and he talks about his counterpart, when he shifted, his counterpart was taking care of things or something, and like he just kind of contradicts himself. Like, if you came back to this reality and your journal is there and the last entry you wrote before your counterpart wrote anything is the same as you remember it, then yeah, you are back in the same reality as you was. So like you know for sure that you are back. I don't know, just something about his videos don't sit right. And plus, like, I'm one of the other YouTubers, I think it was Look If You Want, said, I can't see your face. Like, if I can't see your face, I can't really tell if you're telling the truth or not. And it's just, why are you hiding? None of the rest of us are hiding. Like, are you afraid of some kind of persecution, or like these government or aliens or whoever's behind the scenes is going to crash in and like fucking take you and like mess you up or whatever? We're not afraid of it. Like, if it happens, it happens. And I'm pretty sure if something like that was going to happen, it would have happened by now with all these other people making all these videos. So, it's just, I don't know. I have some problems with it. But anyways, okay, so more on stars. There's more stars now. More ramblings I wanted to make. I made a video before about, is 1987 important? Because I heard Look If You Want and Moneybag 73 both make reference to the same thing while they were talking about like other people. And it wasn't like an important like reference. It wasn't like they're stating like someone actually said this. They were saying it as like a in general hypothetical type statement that they were making. However, they both made the exact same statement, and which not got Moneybag's attention. I know he's got a lot of commenters, but Look If You Want did state that he didn't get it from Moneybags and Moneybags didn't get it from him. So there's two separate Mandela affected, what I'm calling Mandelians, two separate Mandelians that have uttered this phrase, and I don't know if there's any more because I haven't really looked deeper into it or paid that close attention to other Mandelians videos. But two separate makes pretty much the exact same statement about 1987. So I made a video of it, and someone commented on that video talking about the Schumann resonance. Something happened back in 1987 in August. According to another, this guy said it's when he first shifted was back in 1987. But well, anybody don't know, the Schumann resonance is apparently the Earth's heartbeat. And in 1987, it started beating faster, and it's gotten gradually faster over time. So that's apparently another theory of the Mandela Effect. Like, the Earth is more aware of us, I guess. I've not really looked too much into that. There's lots of websites, if you look it up, Schumann resonance, and it talks about how it's gradually gotten faster and faster and stronger, the Earth's heartbeat. So I just wonder if that's a key element that all of us are missing. But just little details. Like, okay, here's the thing. This is what I want to tell all the other Mandelians out there. Pay attention to small details. Everybody thinks, oh, the logos has changed. That's just, 1% difference from our original reality and whatever. Like, it's just a slight difference, and it's not that much to make a big impact. Well, if everyone's not been noticing the little logos and stuff, yeah, about hundreds and hundreds of logos have changed. Yeah, that's not that big of an impact. But then you start getting into things like the changes in the scriptures in the Bible. That's pretty big. The geography locations where we are in the Milky Way, but if some of these stars are back, maybe we're back home. I don't know. But there's just like, pay attention to the small details. Like, I even commented on the video where Look If You Want said that, and I was like, you and Moneybags, I don't know if you noticed, said that same thing, and he was like, he didn't even notice. He didn't even catch that because I guess he's never seen the video where Moneybags said that. And the video Moneybags did say it in, it was kind of a rant because he was being trolled, so I think he took it down. But I remember distinctly that him and Look If You Want saying almost the exact same thing where people come up and they're like, oh, well, I've experienced this since 1987. Like, 1987 seems to be important. So you got to pay attention. Even like pay attention to the rest of to your fellow Mandelians. Pay attention to the unaffected, like little small details, because there's clues in everything. And speaking in clues, it's going to segue me into this next topic I want to talk about, where and a lot of people's talking about this one, but not a lot of people's talking about it in too much depth. But talking about how the lines in movies and stuff have changed, like Forrest Gump saying life was like a box of chocolates, and Darth Vader saying, "No, I am your father," and all the other things that's changed. It just seems like there's some kind of like message that whoever's behind all this is kind of putting it little small, because pop culture is a big thing. You want to send a message to like a bunch of people, you hide things in pop culture and you let them connect the dots, basically. And the smart ones that are becoming aware, they are the ones that will connect the dots. Well, we've seen these false memories, and it just seems like they're talking about a bigger picture. Like, okay, Forrest Gump saying their life was like a box of chocolates. Well, life was like a box of chocolates until we were transferred to here, if our consciousness was transferred to here. And then there's the Queen song, "We Are the Champions of the World." It's no longer of the world, is no longer in the song, so it's "We Are the Champions." Done. Like, you could take it as whoever's behind it is laughing at us, mocking us, or you could take it as they're trying to tell us something through these changes. The Berenstein Bears, there's another big one. Someone else talked about it, and then I saw a video they posted. There is, so far from what I can gather, there's one tape, and it has Berenstain, and it's a VHS, old VHS. On the top, where the label normally would be, it's Berenstain, and then on the side, in the front, it's Berenstein. Now, here's the interesting thing about that, is the one about the label. It says, it's a videotape, and it says it's the story of what to do about strangers, or something like that. And that what we're trying to figure out with Mandelians, with the Mandela Effect, is like everything in this world is strange, and like friends and family and stuff have become strangers, so we're trying to figure that out. Also, there's an extra, says bonus episode on it, called "The Disappearing Honey." And hasn't a lot of stuff been disappearing for us? I don't know. It just kind of makes sense. It just, you got to look. I, for the longest time, has stopped believing in coincidences and believe in whatever you see has a meaning. And the Berenstein side of the tape saying what to do about strangers and the disappearing honey looks like it very directly references the Mandela Effect. I mean, just think of the title. So look at all those this is for everyone. Look at all those pop culture references, and like, try, which I've been trying to do myself. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not been easy for us acclimating to this reality, if that's what it is, because if there is things flip-flopping, maybe it's not just us changing. Maybe the reality as a whole, including us and the reality, everything keeps shifting. If we are still in this world, because after I saw all those stars, I thought, well, maybe I shifted like Bluebeard did. I come home and I look, everything's the same. All Moneybags is there. Look If You Want is there. Mandela Affected is there. It's all there. So, like, I didn't shift back to another reality. The stars came from somewhere. And also, speaking, here's another little, it's kind of funny. Mandela Affected, one of the YouTubers I do like to watch. This could be possible that I just overlooked this, but when I first learned about the Mandela Effect, I was hardcore finding, like, looking, like, I went to Changing Matrix's account, and I watched every video she had. I went to Moneybags 73, I watched every video he had, and I went to Mandela Affected, and I watched every video he had. Those were the first three I was aware of. And I'm getting through Look If You Want's videos now. But anyway, and Jacob Israel's. But I went through every video they all had. And recently, I was looking at Mandela Effected's videos, and there are videos that was posted 2 months ago that it's very possible I could have just overlooked it in the list, but there's more videos there that I did not see before. And one of them, which is kind of important, one of them was his Back to the Future Mandela Effect. And Back to the Future is one of my all-time favorite movies, so I would definitely have watched that, and I didn't see it until yesterday. And he made that like 2 months ago, or 2 weeks ago, something like that. But anyway, it's there. So I kind of commented on the thing, like, apparently Mandela Affected became like a Mandela Effect for me. So we'll see how that works out. But anyway, okay, so we've cleared the Earth heartbeat, my misgivings about Bluebeard, and just ramblings and thoughts. Anybody wants to look into the Schumann resonance, look in, there's lots of videos, websites out there about it. Also, another thing that I found recently, there was apparently a surge of energy, I guess back in February, that went, like, pulsed all over North America. Well, it looked like all over, like, northeast, like the northwest, it wasn't covering that, but it was pulsing. And it was around February, and I just wonder, I don't know what that was, but it's GOME picked it up, GOME, I guess it's satellite, it picked up the image, the heat signature image. So if anybody wants to look in that, see where maybe that would originated from, but I saw a bunch of scientists that were looking into it, and they have no clue what that is, and I just wonder if that's related to CERN or in this Mandela effect, whatever. So go out there and do your research, guys. There's lots of things happening that it's all connected. Everything is connected. And the spiritual awakening, CERN, Mandela effects, like, I've always, like, since then, my awareness is, like, off the charts, and I notice every little thing. And I'm sure a lot of you do too, and I notice every little certain detail. And if you look close enough, you can connect the dots of everything. Pay attention to everything. It's all connected. The lifting of the veil, the Bible verses, all of it, it's all coming from somewhere. And lifting of the veil, that kind of made me think of something. If we were awoke and with this higher awareness, and the veil lifted, and so that's when we started seeing all, like, remembering all these things differently, then if there's a flip-flop, does that mean our veil is starting to get covered up again and our awareness is starting to fade because we're starting to see the things the way they were? So don't let that happen. You have to, you got to have a strong will. And a lot of Mandela affected people out there, the Mandelians, you have a strong will, or this would not be happening to you. You would not be noticing all these things. You would not be able to point out that I am not having a false memory. This was never like this. You all have a strong will, so you have to keep that. You have to hold on to that. So don't let the awareness fade. Sometimes it's going to be hard. On a recent video, Moneybag said he was feeling down again and feeling sick again. And I've went through a bout of that again recently too. So don't, it's got to be whoever's behind this, or it's got to be the universe or something trying to correct itself, I guess. But don't let them. Don't let them bring the veil back down on you. Keep the awareness. Make sure, fight it, whatever. Hold on to your memories. Trust your memories. Pay attention to the smallest detail you see in everything, because that's how we're going to figure this out. It's every smallest detail. All the references in pop culture, everything. That's how we're going to figure this out, is connecting the dots with those. Now, one last thing I did want to talk about, and it's a possible debunking, but it would either give us concrete proof or debunk one of the major Mandela effects, which would be Luke, I am your father. And this is just an idea, and I've not been able to find it yet, but all the VHS tapes that came out in the late 90s, which is the one that you find most of the time, when George Lucas made a lot of changes to the movies. He added the serial numbers of episode 4, 5, and 6 to A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. He did all these changes to the movies. I started thinking, like, because I talked to someone recently and they said they had the Vader's original words, but based on my past with this person, you can't really take them at their word. However, it did start making me think, if someone could find a 1980 copy of Empire Strikes Back on VHS or even Betamax or Laserdisc, if you have something to play it on, and see if the "No, I am your father" was just a change George Lucas did to the movie, because I've looked deep into that and have not been able to find anything. And it's George Lucas was a very rich and powerful man at one point, so he could have very well had everything like that taken off the internet. I don't know. You can't get everything, so someone somewhere has something. But if anybody out there does or can get a hold of the original unedited 1980 version of Empire Strikes Back and watch it, take a video of it, whatever you have to do, if he says, "Luke, I am your father," it would debunk this whole Darth Vader thing. Now, if he still says, "No, I am your father" in that one, that would be like the biggest proof of that Mandela Effect, which would strengthen every other Mandela Effect. Like the Snow White line. If someone could find an old VHS tape of that. The mirror mirror thing. A lot of people said they saw it in the theater and it was mirror mirror. Which one person said, "I saw it in the theater," and I'm like, "You couldn't. It was 1937. They're like, "Well, the re-release," but we won't get into that. So, you know, there's also some scenes missing from Snow White, but I remember the big surge of censorship in like sometime in the mid-90s when they were like, kids don't need to see like the Doors when they were partying and they all had mugs of beer and they were getting drunk, and like kids should not see the Doors getting drunk and all that. So I know there's a lot of things like that out there. So, but if you can find a videotape of a scene where the Doors are getting drunk, look at the scene with the Queen and see what she says. Maybe she says magic mirror. And if she still says magic mirror, like I said, it would either debunk that Mandela Effect or strengthen that Mandela Effect, which would strengthen every other Mandela Effect we're experiencing. But like I said, there's bigger things, but I said you got to pay attention to the small details, because they'll put stuff in the small details and they'll slip one right by you and you'll miss a clue. So everyone, to all the Mandelians out there, pay attention to the smallest detail in everything. But there's some of my ramblings. Comment below of anything you find, any thoughts of what I've said today. Just, comment, subscribe if you want. That's fine. I don't really do a lot of the logos and Mandela Effect type videos. I touch on some, but I leave that up to the other guys. I don't like to repeat what someone else has done. So I let them take care of that, and I'll direct you to their channel so you can see them, and then I'll just give you my thoughts and theories on what's going on and let you talk about mine. So this has been Joker. That's my thoughts and stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for listening. The videos they do, you can see their faces. And with this Mandela Effect thing, one of the things is we have a higher awareness now. That's what the awakening is. And having a higher awareness, I've read somewhere that you can point out basically when people are lying. Like, you kind of know instantly when someone is lying. And I don't want to discredit the things Bluebeard says about shifting between realities, because with what's been going on, it's very possible that happened. But to me, it discredits a lot of his stuff by constantly throwing in the demonetization of YouTube videos, because I don't see anyone else. I've not looked a lot at a lot of other YouTubers other than the ones I mentioned. There's been a few here or there, but I've not seen anyone else mention this, and it just, to me, that kind of discredit. And you would think, logically speaking, as history, if you look back on his videos, you would think he would be the one really talking about monetization and talk about money and how YouTube's doing this. But he's not. Moneybags doesn't care about any of that. He's making Mandela Effect videos like all the rest of us are, about getting our stories out there and making everybody think and feel that you're not alone. That there's a bunch of us going through this. It's fine. And nobody that I know, nobody else that I know is nobody cares about this demonetization, because the Mandela Effect videos that we make, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. And this a little anecdote that's kind of a quote that I did not mean to do, from The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger's version of the Joker, which I completely hate because it's nothing like the Joker. Maybe that's another Mandela Effect, where like I mentioned in a previous. Hey guys, Joker here. Just wanted to just have some ramblings. This is probably going to be a long video, but I just got a lot of things I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about is Bluebeard 2011. He's one of the Mandela affected people that I've been watching videos on, and apparently he went missing for 4 months, and recently, just about a day or 2 or 3 days ago, popped back up and said he'd been quantum shifting through different realities, and he said he shifted through like 4 different ones, and now he's back making videos about it. This was a guy that originally, when the Mandela thing kind of started, was saying that 3 of his kids was missing, and apparently they never existed in this reality. I just have a problem with the whole Mandela Effect and everything going on. It's with the multiverse explanation and us shifting from other realities. It's some of his things, because it sounds like, and I could be completely wrong, and I apologize if I am, but it just seems to me that he's trying to use the Mandela Effect for some kind of monetary gain, which I am totally for. Like, if you are monetizing your Mandela Effect videos, do it. Fine. Make money, because, that's what we do. We make money as humans to, like, survive and get by, whatever. That's fine. But to focus on that when there's a lot bigger things, like, understand that he's not being able to see his kids because they don't exist in this reality. So if he shifted back to his world, shouldn't he should be talking about that more, about, hey, I got to see my kids. I would, like, not, he doesn't have to detail all the things that they did with them, but, like, I would think he would talk about that more than the monetization of, or the demonetization of, the YouTube videos. It just seems, it discredits him. And I've seen Moneybag73 used to do financial videos about gold and silver and money and stuff all the time. Completely possible that he did, shift from all these different realities. My problem with what he's been saying is talking about the demonetization that YouTube's been doing to people's videos, and he says he went back to his original world and the same thing happened, and what all the YouTubers demonetized all their videos, and that's how they pretty much stood up to YouTube and made them stop trying to demonetize their videos. Because if everybody demonetizes their videos and YouTube doesn't make no money off of them, yada 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 yada. You can look that up. You can head over to his channel to see more about that. However, my problem with that is all the Mandela Effect YouTubers that I watch, Mandela Affected, Moneybag73, Changing Matrix, Jacob Israel, Look If You Want, all of them, whenever I watch their videos, you can all, like, most of